12x to what? What was the volume growth? We're seeing on X, many people think that we think this is a replacement for self-custody. Absolutely not. We are as focused on the importance of decentralization as anyone is out there. Bitcoin is ringing the bell for a new asset class. BlackRock was not so favorably disposed to Bitcoin.
Cathie would, answering burning questions like 12x to what? But wait, is it the replacement for self-custody? Cathie clears the air, while Bitcoin rings the bell for a new asset class. And guess what? BlackRock, which was not initially a fan of Bitcoin, is now taking notes. Fascinated? Also, smash that subscribe button and stay tuned for more crypto thrills as we continue our discussion with the crypto genius, Cathie Wood.
We're seeing on X, many people think that we think this is a replacement for self-custody. Absolutely not. We are as focused on the importance of decentralization as anyone is out there. But in terms of giving institutions exposure, unless they got the green light from the SEC for the most part, that was critical. And they probably wouldn't even think about Bitcoin. And without an ETF, what we would see in institutions would be major gridlock. You'd have all these departments and institutions, procurement for a new service provider, finance, compliance, and legal. You'd have so many touch points that it would be a long time, I think, before institutions would get involved. This gives them an on-ramp that they understand well. It's in an ETF wrapper, which has been a good wrapper for end clients in our business, and it is now becoming the preferred wrapper. So and Yassine can talk about this in much more detail, but based on our research led by Yassine, the institutional, in terms of the price appreciation we expect during the next 7 years through 2030, institutional involvement in a new asset class is the number one, the biggest increment to the price, we believe. And one of the reasons it is becoming more top of mind for institutions is they are buying into this notion that Bitcoin is ringing the bell for a new asset class. We did a paper with Coinbase with that title in 2016. It's truly a new asset class, and institutions cannot dismiss a new asset class. Why? A new asset class typically means low correlation of returns, and it typically means, therefore, increased returns per unit of risk. And so these institutions cannot ignore it. They're competing against one another. And that is why I think it's going to be a very big deal for this new asset class.
Cathie Wood took us on a deep dive into the labyrinth of institutional involvement, SEC green lights, and the fascinating world of ETF wrappers. Without the SEC's blessing, institutions would turn their backs on Bitcoin, resulting in major gridlock. Imagine finance, compliance, and legal departments in a cosmic dance, each with its own checklist. Now the ETF emerges as a shining beacon, providing a smooth on-ramp for institutions to step into the crypto realm. Cathie unfolds the secret sauce of crypto success, institutional involvement, projecting its monumental impact on price appreciation until 2030. Get ready for a roller coaster of insights, because this ETF drama is just the opening act. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and prepare for a front row seat to the institutional revolution in the crypto space.
Well, I think that's why everyone's been so excited. They struck a partnership with Coinbase. That was the first big aha moment because, of course, for a time there, the leadership at BlackRock was not so favorably disposed to Bitcoin. So that was very big, just that. And I think that happened, Yassine, was that 9 months ago, something like that? Might have been longer, more than a year ago, perhaps. So that got the brain cells going in the institutional world. And another thing did as well, and it was before BlackRock, Cambridge Associates, which is a consultant primarily to institutions, I think endowments, foundations, and pension funds, in 2018 wrote a paper and said, okay, asset allocators, you may not be predisposed to liking this thing called Bitcoin, but you better study it and develop a stronger point of view, because it does appear to be a new asset class. So since 2000, that's 5 years now, we've had that kind of thought roaming around, and the excuse was, oh, the SEC hasn't blessed it. Now they'll have no excuse. And if you just talk about 1% of trillions and trillions of dollars, or 1% allocation, well, the scarcity value of Bitcoin will shine through next year if institutions do indeed decide they must gain access to this new asset class. One of the state treasurers to whom we've been talking, he said he has a sense of urgency about him in terms of making this decision. And he mentioned the halvening. And it's like, wow, state pension plan treasurer knows about the halvening. That is really interesting. So sense of urgency in one regard, but I'll go back to the institutional kind of gridlock that there can be in decision making from compliance departments, or legal, or the procurement side of the firm. So lots of touch points there. And would agree with Yassine. There's been a lot of anticipatory moves in terms of buying Bitcoin ahead of this, and you'll often get in our business they'll call the trade a sell on the news. So that you'll get hedge funds and other investors buying into an event that they think will happen. And when it happens, it's just a sell signal for them, just then on to the next thing for them. So we might see a little bit of that, but enough people are talking about that now that maybe it won't be as big a deal as it might have been otherwise.
Let's take some notes. Remember that pivotal partnership with Coinbase? It was a game changer, triggering a change of heart at BlackRock. Enter Cambridge Associates, the consultant whispering words of wisdom to institutions in 2018, urging them to study Bitcoin as a new asset class. Fast forward to today, where the SEC's approval removes the final obstacle for institutional entry into the crypto market. Cathie stares at the state treasurers with a sense of urgency, and guess what? They're not just aware of Bitcoin, they'd even know about the happening. Will it be a sell on the news moment, or are we in for a crypto extravaganza? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.